Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome along. The European Tour gets underway. ET9 from Kiel. The Baltic Sea Darts Open. Rob Cross winning the title last year. Can he defend it this year? How are we doing? I hope everyone is good. I hope everyone is well. K-Days, how are we doing? Good to have you in. Look, massive start to the week, isn't it? Look, last chance for these guys to find something before Blackpool. Kev, how are we doing? Good to have you in, my friend. As we say, we are here for the next 3 days, bringing you every dart of the European Tour. Looking forward to this. Should be good. How are we doing, Christina? Good to have you in. Dan Dawson on the walk-on at the moment. Chris Mason also in Kiel. Not sure who the third is. Haven't got the comms on yet. How are we doing, Marcus? Good to have you in. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Friday, and I hope the weather is as nice where you are as it is down south. So it's an interesting session today. Getting the ferry to France next Saturday afternoon. Having little bits and pieces of your match play coverage. No, not a problem, Kev. Be good to say whatever you can watch will be good. Whereabouts in France are you off to? Hope you have a lovely time. Can't wait to watch Mansell Lawrance. That could take 4 hours. How we doing, Rob? Good to have you in. Well, we'll have to be creative with our thinking when Mansell Lawrence takes the stage. Look, he might have changed. He might have speeded up a bit. He might be a changed operator. South Brittany. Nice, mate. That should be good. Good morning, Mooney and the Ox from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Good to have you in, buddy. Cool. Early there for you, isn't it? Swissville on the stage, Mr. Grudziecki. We've got a cyclone rolling in. Oh, Rob, could you imagine if that had come out, Mansell Lawrence against Mickey Mansell? Oh, my. It's my parents' 50th wedding anniversary. Congratulations to your parents, mate. It's a great achievement. 50 years married. Yeah, I was just saying, I thought it was early there for you. It would be, what, 7 a.m. in New York? How are we doing, Banana Boat on the Oki? Hope you are good. I know nothing about this guy Mickey Mansell is playing. He's got a bit of a fan club there, though. I recognise his face. We've seen him before. I just don't know a lot about him. Nigel, listening while cutting the grass. Last job of half day, not too bad. Going home to have a chuck. Nice. Yeah, 7 a.m. Yeah, I'm not too bad with times. Certainly on the East Coast. It's then when you start going further west. But look, it's going to be good, isn't it? 3 days of European Tour action, and then all eyes truly are on the wonderful winter gardens in Blackpool. It's quite funny. Yesterday, obviously, we got our match play stuff out, and a couple of people messaged me, "Oh, how did you have it all so early? How did you have it all so ready?" Well, you know. what's everyone's overall thoughts on the match play draw? Don't think it was as brutal as what it could have been, that's for sure. Don't get me wrong, there's some good ties, but it could have been a lot worse. How we doing, Mike? We have got Mooney and the Oxen from Pittsburgh. Yeah, look, we're really blessed that we have a great audience from the US, which is great. Humphreys and Littler, both of them. Humphreys has certainly got a tough game. In Jan van Veen, Russ dropped the balls. I didn't. If I'm being honest, James, I didn't see the draw. Mickey Mansell's lost the ball here, so it's gonna have some work to do. Yeah, and MVG will be happy as well. Getting Barney is a decent draw for him. You never know what you're going to get from Surly. Yeah, 100%. Ryan Searle, very unpredictable. The bag right on the floor. Oh, nightmare. Funny though, James. But we are underway. European Tour, ET number 9. And we are ready to rock and roll. Mickey Mansell asking a few questions early here. Against Miroslav. I wonder what the Vegas line will be for the 180s against Hofkens. Yeah, it should be high. Yes, James, yeah, what is there? After today, 6 more events for the European Tour. So again, time running out for players to book their place at Dortmund for the European Championships. But Mickey Mansell, down to a finish first here against Miroslav. Remember, he's going to have to break the throw at some point. Why not do it in leg 1 and get it out of the way? Remember, double session today. Back at 6 o'clock for the evening session. MVG getting Raymond Van Barneveld, loads of headlines, but let's be honest, even though MVG isn't the same player. But yeah, and look, I agree, but look, Michael could have got a Josh Rock, a Jan van Veen, or ton topper for Mickey Mansell, and then it could have been a lot trickier. Where Barney, I think's a really nice tie. No, Luke isn't playing. Go on, Mickey. Mansell 1-0 to the good. Oh, the last time Raymond Van Barneveld won in Blackpool. I will tell you, the last time Barney won a game at the wonderful Winter Gardens was dun 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 dun. Right. Well, match play. 2018 was the last time Raymond won a game. Mickey Mansell broke early, but he's just letting Miroslav back into this one. Doesn't leave a finish, so Miroslav has got 6 darts to break back here in the opening game of the European Tour number 9 in Kiel, the Baltic Sea Darts Open. Rob Cross defending the title we won a year ago. But again, this one just getting a little bit messy. It's not free flowing, that's for sure. Oh, hey, Alistair, Spurs have gone mental in the last 2 days in the transfer window. Kudos. And then Gibbs White. Back in 2018, Barney was seeded, lost second round to Veenstra, Gary Anderson, having beat the late Carl Anderson. Cheers, Jay. Yeah, all I did was look when he last got to round 2. I didn't look at the ins and outs. Mickey Mansell doubles his lead and is 2-0 to the good. Last time RVB got past the second round in the match play was 2011. Wow. That's mad. Absolutely bonkers. Just out of interest, chat room, what do we think? Look, I know Barney gets billed as the 5 times champion of the world and so on, but coming over when he did with the billing that he did Raymond perhaps underachieve in the PDC? What do you guys think? Did he underachieve or was he bang on? Much better leg from Miroslav here. This is good from the pole. How we doing? Joe, good to have you in. I will be at the match play, mate. Yes, I will be travelling up to Blackpool a week today. Cannot wait. This has been put it bluntly, a shite leg from Mickey Mansell. There's been nothing good about it whatsoever. Miroslav is going to get 2 darts. That's a tidy little finish. 65, treble 11, double 16. That will do. That will settle the nerves. Should give him some confidence. Yeah, James, I agree. He should have come over earlier. You just feel that he developed a lot of scar tissue against Phil. Yeah, developed a lot of scar tissue mentally against Phil. But This has been a better response from Mansell in this leg. The fact Barney has only won one Euro Tour. Yeah. Oh, 100%. Mickey will just want to get this one done, dusted, out the way. We may have someone coming on this afternoon. I'm not going to say definitely yet. We may have someone else hopping on. So keep an eye out for that one. But what's everyone got planned for the weekend? Anything nice? Anything interesting? All of a sudden, Miroslav has just got himself back into this leg. Mickey Mansell started it well, but tailed off. But he's going to get a dart at tops here for 3-1. Misses. Has Miroslav got an absolute roof raiser in him? That is the question. No, he has not. So Mansell will return 3 in hand at tops. Just getting a bit messy this game. He's missed 4 for a 3-1 lead. Can Miroslav get himself level and break back? Arguably, he's been the better player. The averages suggest that. He's going to get 2 at tops. We are level. Mickey Mansell misses 4 darts for a 3-1 lead. And now he's level at 2-2. Mansell not playing well at the moment. Do we reckon he's over-practiced or under-practiced? Mickey Mansell not at the races. He has been pulled back. He's got to try and find something here. But it's turning into an absolute disaster for Mansell here. Michael Smith did withdraw. Yes, there was quite a big withdrawal. Michael Smith, Michael Van Gerwen, Peter Wright and Ryan Joyce, I think it was. That's without looking. That's just off the top of my head. If I've missed anyone out, I apologise. Mickey Mansell needed that 140, but it only gets him back level in this tie. First game on a Friday, he's definitely under practiced. Leaving the older 159 Miroslav. How are you going to check that one out? He's got away with it because Mickey Mansell can't leave a finish either. He is having an absolute howler here, Mickey Mansell, the last 3 legs. How are we doing, Connor? Good to have you in. Preparation, you know, Rob. Got to prepare for these games, right? Mickey Mansell leaves 70, but he may not get a go. Miroslav took out a ton in the last leg to make it 2-all. Can he go and add a 116 to the resume? Not this time, he can't, no. But let's be fair, Mickey Mansell's finishing was horrific in the last leg. Is it any better here? It's not. That's now 5 on the spin. He has missed out a double. The Cyclone is huffing and puffing, but has absolutely no bite at the moment. And Miroslav has won 3 legs on the spin. The Polish qualifier has Mickey Mansell in a hop. Ready for Blackpool. Who wins, Phil? Look, I haven't had a chance to dissect the draw yet. Sit down and look at it all. Look, do I think the Nuke can win Blackpool? Yeah, absolutely. Would I touch him at 13-8? No. Miles too short. The price. Do you online dance have an affiliation code or discount code? Haven't got an affiliation code. Let me drop a message and see if I can get you a discount code, Rob. I can ask the question. I did come back with these bad boys yesterday. The 23 gram Paradigm Dart. Very nice. With some 41 mil points in. Considering at the Grand Slam last year, Mickey Mansell played really well. He has not kicked on. And he was 2-0 up, break of throw. Now he's in a world of trouble here. His throw is under pressure. Remember, he missed 4 darts for a 3-1 lead. And it looks as if it might all be going south. Can't leave a finish. So Miroslav is going to get 6 darts at 209 for a 4-2 lead and 4 on the spin. Good setup here from Mickey Mansell, but it may mean nothing. Agreed, Marcus Humphreys at 7-2 is, I think it's a great price. Miroslav has missed. He's had a dart for 4-2. And Mickey Mansell does level it up. Phil, do you get... I need to live from this... Do you mean living from the... Look, it's, making a living from these live streams isn't what this is about. This is about building the channel and building the community. This is why we do these. It's a brand building exercise. And it gives you guys somewhere to come. Look, and those that are at work and those that might not have PDC TV, we keep you all in the loop. That's what we do. With the prices like that, would you not get better odds? Rob, each one. Yeah, possibly, Rob. Yeah, I haven't had a look at the individual game odds yet. How do you get? Are they doing? Are the PDC doing a fantasy thing for the match play? We are working with someone I know. I don't think it's going to be ready for the match play, but we're hoping certainly for the World Series final to have along the lines of a Super 6 competition to run with you guys. I'm not sure if it's something that you'd all be interested in and whatever, but we're just developing something at the moment. That could be interesting. Connor, everyone knows that online darts is my job. It's all I do. Mickey Mansell, if this is big, it gives him a chance. $180, that is big, and he needed that. He has found a touch of quality when it mattered. So 61 for a break of throw for Mickey Mansell. Remember, he led this one 2-0. Let that slip. It's got the old treble, 7 tops. I like it, Mickey. Classy finishing. Sounds good, Phil. Yeah, cheers, Patrick. Yeah, like I say, it's just something that we're working on with someone I know that's got the development side of it and whatever, and yeah, it'll be on the lines of a Super 6 type thing, but it'll be like if it would have been ready for the match play, it would have been each session predict the scores, but you would have got a point for the right result, 3 points for the correct score, and so on, and league table it and things like that. But yeah, just developing that in the. Hopefully, we're penciling the World Series finals to hopefully test it out with you guys. Agreed, Marcus. It has been a tough watch, but chatting with you guys makes it worth it when it's not the best of games. Look, we can. Big celebration from Mickey. I like the concept of the Hyde Park event. Look, it was the first one, but I like the concept. Remember, it's not that isn't about top quality darts. It's about that influencer celebrity crossover market. And you got people like Ollie Murs involved. It's always a good thing. Mickey Mansell's just got a little bit of breathing space here. God, it's so humid today. Mansell down to 1-2-1. Miroslav not on a finish. So, doesn't need to go treble 17 ball because, look, I know Miroslav is on a finish, but he showed nothing to suggest that he would do that. How are we doing, Adi? Good to have you in. Who's Willie got? Titus Canick. You'd expect him to win that. Yes, James, I've got two big bottles of water and a Lucozade orange and a couple of big bottles of water. Mickey Mansell 1 away from 2-0 up to 3-2 down. Mansell's battled back here, battled back well. Picked up a Scolia in their summer sale. Very good. Nice, Rob. I know people compare the Scola and the Omni quite a lot, but look, Scolia were the first to really develop that software. Why has Mansell moved down to the 19s? Past James, it's Mickey in there. Phil, I've got a question for you. Say Bo or Fallon get a card and they are in the top 64 in the world after 2 years and they get pregnant. Is there rules to protect? That's a good question, Marcus. My instant reaction is no, there's nothing in place, but I don't know that concrete. Let me ask a question here. No, it's worth asking. Just asking someone now. I've just asked the question. Mickey Mansell seals a 6-3 win. That was tougher than he'd have liked. I've asked the question. Phil, are you a sausage, chips and beans or... Oh, Rick, I really like both. Genuinely, I'd be happy with either. But if it had to be one or the other, pie, mash and gravy. But I do like both, obviously. If you could choose a 4v4 darts team, who would be there and most entertaining? Well, you'd have to have people like Scott Williams involved, wouldn't you? And things like that. I'll have a think. I'm pretty sure they do in golf and tennis. So I just thought I'd ask. But yeah, I've asked the question to someone that will know. My water comes out, no need for a bottle straight from the tap. No, but to be fair, I drink tap water at home. It's just where I'm in the office. I just grabbed a couple of bottles. Darts rankings are quite different. Yeah, they are. But I've asked the question to find out. How we doing, Andy? How we doing? Afternoon, Phil. How do you rate Cameron Menzies' chances in these TV events? Look, he's got the ability to. It's whether he can keep that in a straight place, and he absolutely has the ability to. Phil, Willie has the best walk-on. One of them, yes, certainly. But It all depends on the crowd. Any walk-on depends on the crowd. Look, would Nathan Aspinall, Mr. Brightside, be amazing if no one sung along to it? No. So all the walk-on depends on the crowd and the environment and so on. Mickey Mansell under. Some good talking points today. You lot are on fire, early doors chat room. Right, here we go. The big $64,000 million question. How long is Liam Mandel Lawrence going to bore us to death? Or do we hold out hope he's a changed man and quicken up? How are we doing, Chris? Good to have you in. Has my friend lost 6-5 yet? We've only had one game, Mickey Mansell 6-3 winner. It is, look, I know we all laugh and joke about Liam Mandel Lawrence's pace, but he can play. We're getting this weekend, Dobie losing 6. Standard Dobie, Chris. Can you imagine the bad press the PDC get? Someone like Fallon lost their card because look, it's a really interesting one, Marcus. I agree. I've asked the question. Did Justin Pike? Yeah, look, he lost his tour card and just not played since. Look, James, I can see both sides of this argument where having a child is different to an injury. I'm not saying one's right or one's wrong. It's an interesting one. No one's injured, Chris. We're talking. The question was asked that devil's advocate. Is there anything if there was a female that had a tour card and was in the top 64 after 2 years and so on, and then they became pregnant? Is there anything in the rules to protect them? It's an interesting point. Liam Mandel Lawrence against Antonio, there will be a match for that. Liam Mandel Lawrence has won the ball. But in someone said in tennis and golf, there is something in the rankings to protect females or female competitors if they get pregnant. Look, I don't follow them closely enough to say if there is or there isn't. Liam Mandel Lawrence on the stage. Time for Woody. Luke Woodhouse. Yeah, like I say, it's not so much the injury thing, it's the... Okay, Marcus, devil's advocate here. Darts is in general is a gender neutral sport, I agree. But okay, forget the main order of merit. What about the women's series order of merit that's played over a year? Or whatever. That's an all female ranking, so they're all... We're not, it's a tough one, and it's probably never been thought of before, is the honest answer. I am and I'm not, James. Everyone knows my opinion. I don't like the current ranking system as it is anyway. The message I've just had back is, no, I don't think there is, but I will double check. So we don't think there is. Right, Mansell Lawrance has definitely quickened up. 100%. He has quickened up. But is he using those ultra slim points that boing? But he's definitely quickened up. Oh, Andrew, this version of Mansell Lawrance, I don't mind. He's quick and getting on with it. They go boing. You like that, Rob? Yeah. It's like the old spring bonnet. It's like boing. Mansell Lawrance takes the opener 1-0. how many players are competing this weekend? 48 players in action. Do those point darts have a risk of fall? I don't know, James. I've never played with those points, so I don't know. I wouldn't have thought so. Is this game? I don't know if he is or not. I like the door stopper. Yeah, I remember them. I remember when Peter Wright used those darts, and yeah, I remember he used them a couple of times in the Premier League. I know he definitely used them once in Cardiff out of the blue. I've got no idea if he is or not, and I couldn't care less. To be fair, it's up to him, isn't it? Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong at all. We live in a modern world where everyone has the right. Luke Woodhouse to level up, and again, just watching Liam, this version of his throw and that, I don't mind. Paul Nicholson thinks Michael Smith isn't a top 32 player right now. Look, it's hard. It's. I can see the argument for it, James. On current form, missing out on the match play, there's an argument for it. Look, Michael Smith is still an incredible talent, but he has a lot of work to do right now to get himself back. Very odd that the match play draw wasn't on Sky Sports, live. Look, it's I agree with the boom and the rise, but Sky probably not wanted it. Wasn't room in their schedule. Has there ever been an openly gay darts player? Has there? The honest answer is, Andrew, I don't know. Oh yeah, to be fair, I think Smith will bounce back as well, but he's got to start putting in the graft and to get back there. Look, Michael Smith is a classy operator. Lawrance showed a nice side angle of his darts going in the board. $150 is not going to go. So Liam Lawrance has got a chance for a 2-1 lead. Opportunity not taken. Woodhouse now has a break opportunity. How are you doing, Dave? Good to have you in, buddy. I hope you are well. Hope you are good. Luke Woodhouse has taken that break opportunity. Woody. Leads 2-1 near Lawrance. I'll be disappointed He's had a chance, couldn't take it. But I've got to say, it's nice to see this quicker version of Liam Lawrance, that's for sure. Luke Woodhouse. Again, looking just to get himself ready for the world match play here. Down to 207 Woodhouse here, looking to capitalise on that break of throw. In the words, it can. Still one of my favourite bits of commentary from the Premier League this year, Rod Studd and Wayne Mardle. This can't carry on, can it? It can. The big fish from Lawrance, not going to go. Has anyone came back to the top of the rankings after dropping out the top 20? When you say, James, the top, how far up are we going? Because Gary did it. Gary dropped down to 28 in the world, I think, and got back into the top 4. Yeah, James Wade dropped to about 25, 26, and he's now back into the top 10 as well. So, yeah, it's been done a few times. Three, 1, Luke Woodhouse leads. Speaking of commentary, what are your 3 favourite moments? Blackpool in July, London in December from Gwynny is right up there. That is right up there as a... I like one of Wayne's was, I think it was the Premier League, where I can't remember the exact finishes, but MVG laid up against Taylor, and it was all mind games. You don't play mind games with the master. You don't play mind games with the master. I remember that one. That's right up there. Obviously, iconic. The I can't spake will be right up there. David Crofts, like Dick Turpin, he delivered. I always remember. In my opinion, we're in a sport where we've been blessed with so many amazing commentators over over the decades of the sport, and have all put their own unique twist on it. I remember Stephen Fry, like a pig in Chardonnay, was superb. Yeah, glory, glory, Gary. It's glory, glory, Gary Anderson. Nijman Lawrance does hold. I can remember a time Whitlock going down and coming back. Yeah, there's been a few, Andrew, that have done it and come back. Do you think Nolan's time in women's darts is coming to an end? Only the PDC can answer that. It's down to them whether they change their rules and guidelines. Luke Woodhouse in control of this one. Leave 70. Nijman Lawrence needs at least 2 trebles here to leave a finish. Not going to happen. Now there's a bit of pressure. The classic Sid Waddell, put your granny movie in the centre. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, there was a Sid Waddell about a minors or a minors which was Sid had loads of good ones. $180 for Luke Woodhouse. Interesting to see that Smith pulled out. Do you think? Yeah, look, I just think that perhaps now that Michael Smith hasn't made the match play, he's got a window of opportunity to have a complete break and try and get some stuff mended and fixed. So there's a window of opportunity for him to perhaps get some of it right. Sid, Bristow, yes, Rob, it was. Dawson and Mason discussing Ryan, and it seems they don't know. Ryan just doesn't like flying. Well, if they haven't listened to the interview, they wouldn't know. It would be more interesting. Yeah, look, it would have been more interesting if the Euro Tour had gone on the qualification, but obviously not able, or was deemed not time to turn stuff around, i.e. draw and so on. So they've gone with this one, or this version of the qualifying criteria. To be fair though, this isn't just Ryan Joyce, because I'm sure there are other players that dislike flying and so on as well. But with the way the sport is moving and going, that people are going to have to learn to conquer these fears or find a way around it, because the tour is just going to get more and more global and so on. So we're going to try and film one once every 4 to 5 weeks is the plan, Joe. Look, sometimes that won't be possible because of schedules and so on, but the plan is every 4 to 5 weeks, hopefully. Phil, would you rather have a burning Indian or any meal that was stone cold when meant to be heated up? Something that was stone cold. Because if food's too hot and spicy, I don't mind hot. I don't mind spicy food, but sometimes once it goes past the point, you just don't enjoy it because you can't taste anything. How are we doing, Matador? Good to have you in. And game, shot, and the match to Luke Woodhouse. Good game, that. That was decent. That was decent. It was nice to see Liam Mandel Lawrance quicken up a bit as well, which was good, and he played better for it as well. But Luke Woodhouse getting some much needed confidence ahead of the World Match Play. So, the Maverick madman that is Cameron Menzies coming next. Again, can he get a bit of confidence ahead of the Winter Gardens? What are we thinking? Menzies to win this one? So, game number 3 of the session is about 2 minutes 45 seconds away, and it will be Cameron Menzies. Wonder if he keeps the old TikTok walk on. Massive condolences, Stephen, to you and your family. Hope everything is okay. Menzies has lost the ball, interestingly, so he's going to have some work to do. Luke's not happy at all with how he's playing right now, he's saying. It made he's tense. Probably not good heading towards the Winter Gardens then. As he faces the Flying Scotsman Gary Anderson in Blackpool. But again, we know that Woodhouse has the ability, but needs to conquer that stage presence and stage fear almost. Ray Gurney's chances versus Gezi. 4.5 out of 10. About 45 seconds-ish till pictures return. I would say there's a small chance he's been playing decent, but yeah, no, I think he has been playing. He's been playing well, but I just think Gezi is a different proposition. I don't know. I think I looked at it, and although I think who's Chizzy got again? I looked at it and thought he could get beat there. Yeah, Dudecka. I think Dudecka could beat Chisnell. I totally expect Chris versus Gezi round 2. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think Chizzy gets beat. Right, here we go. Swissville back on the stage. A team made up of England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland versus a team made up of the Netherlands. Players who wins? England, Scotland, Wales. Netherlands will win that one. What 4 Netherlands would you go? Well, I would personally go MVG, Dirk, Van Veen. Probably Noppert, but I'd be tempted to put Wessel in there against Luke, Gezi, and Gary. He's got a chance, but he's just doing it on that Winter Garden stage. Well, I mean, that's. Yeah, Cammy sticking to his TikTok walk on. Right, Menzies on stage. How we doing, buddy? Hope you are good. Does anyone know why Menzies changed to that TikTok walk-on? It's all right, but whilst we were on the subject of walk-ons, I've just dropped someone a message to make sure we are definitely going to have a new walk-on in Blackpool, but we've heard it before, so it's new to that player, but we have heard it before. No, nothing about him whatsoever. So, popular one before. Yeah, I think I'd say so, Mador. Not dropping any clues or anything. But when you hear it, you'll know why. Afternoon probably got abused because it's rain. I know his old walk-on song was a Rangers tune. John McDonald. Do you like it? Yeah, I like it. Okay, change it to Eye of the Tiger. Barney's at the match play, that wouldn't be allowed. Let's have a look now at his throw. I don't dislike it. It's quite a unique. He's trying a unique setup at dart that he's using. It looks like a bit of a spring onion dart, as I called them back in the day, like the Priestley. It's got a bit of a scallop at the back with a. Now, again, I'm picking holes in this here. Now, is he sponsored by Mission, or is he just wearing a Mission shirt? Does anyone know? Because if he is sponsored by Mission, he's throwing with Steve Beaton's signature win more flights. Which is interesting. Not sponsored by Mission, so he's just wearing a Mission shirt, fairs. It was just. Steve Beaton didn't even use his own flights. I'm sure he's used them before, maybe not towards the end, but I've definitely seen him use them. To be fair, he's playing decent here. Menzies is right up against it. He's playing well here. I think he's sponsored though local drivership dealer when he was a driving instructor. Oh, about Stevie B. I remember. Imagine getting your imagine driving lessons and Stevie B rocks up to teaches you. Oh wait, he is sponsored by Mission. So he is sponsored by Mission for Winmore flights with literally Winmore plastered on them. Oh, that is funny. 2 seconds, everyone. I said bet on Menzies 6-0. To be fair, Menzies is has work to do. Kind of got back into this one now. See the rumours about Beaton going to Q School. I can't see it. I don't see it happening. Mark, Luke Humphreys is not the worst thing to happen to darts. If you think Luke is the worst thing to happen to darts, then I'm lost for words in consideration that some of the things that have happened in the sport. Menzies levels up in the blink of an eye. He's upped his average to 103. For a young unknown, they wouldn't go out of their way to create a new shape flight. Do Mission not make the standard pear-shaped flight then, Mad? Or if I'm being honest, I don't use Mission equipment, so I haven't seen any of it. Yep, buzzing with Kudos and Gibbs White. So yeah, there is some tasty first round games in the match play. I agree. Alcaraz for Wimbledon, as long as it's not Djokovic, I don't mind. Yeah, James, 100%. He who must not be named. But no, that shape is called an oversized pear. Fairs. There's worse than Ted. He's probably top 5 though, isn't he? Sorry if there's any particular reason this can't count. Just Stephen, at some point, the PDC have to have a cut-off for the match play, and they said this is the cut-off. Menzies back behind. Jokic is playing some decent stuff here, averaging 93. Not anymore, they discontinued pear shape and are a lot smaller than the ones he's using. Fez, obviously Suits and Joyce, both sponsored by Mission, use pairs. So interested in the number of UK qualifiers. Yeah, at least a character is the right word, and a character and an absolute first class. I was going to drop the C-bomb then, but thought better of it. Um, players need time to plan their travels and hotels. Yeah, and like you say, there has to be not just the match play, but in anything where there's a ranking and so on, there has to be a cut-off at some point. It's just deemed when that is. Woo-hoo! He's just taken out 113. Menzies is right up against it. He's playing beautifully here. He's decent. Look, Menzies is averaging 102 here. He's doing absolutely nothing wrong. But also, Stephen, that bookmakers will need time to price the draw up. Sponsors of the event will need time to make stuff up, programs and so on. And the turnaround time is then really, really close. That say for argument's sake, Sunday night was the cut-off, draw was Monday, then printers and so on may not get stuff until Tuesday, and then the turnaround time is then massively close and so on. But Menzies going to get a dart at tops here to break back. And does. But Jokic is playing lovely here. Oh, wait a minute. 2 seconds. Let me do... Right, just got to move some bits around. Right, I'm going to try this. 2 seconds. If I go like this... Can you hear me, Gob?
Hello there.
Right, I can't hear you. 2 seconds, but I think that's my end. Let me... I've got to go and switch something on, I think. But just chat away, Gob. Let me... Chat away, Gob. Right, Gob, don't worry, Gob, you're live. You can be heard. I need to put my... You can't hear me. You should be able to hear me because you're in the program. 2 seconds. Yeah, audio coming through there. That's fine. Not there. Oh, wait a minute. I might not have done this. 2 seconds. That's in there.
Ooh. Why can't I hear you?
21. Yeah, audio done. So yeah, you should be able to hear me all right, Gob. Can you not? Two. Trying to make it so Gob can hear me. 2 seconds. Two seconds, folks. I'm just trying to sort the sound out so we can get Gob on. Where's my lead? That it? That might work. Fingers crossed. We'll get there in the end, everyone, as Menzies looking, well, it was until that 180. Gob, can you hear me now? This doesn't make any sense because that's there, that's there. Gob, have you got something turned off? Because you're in the program, so you should be able to hear it. Because volume is all coming through. Right, Gob, stay there. If I go like this, can you hear it now, Gob? And Menzies has won it in the decider. He is. Look, the young kid has been absolutely sensational. 2 seconds. I'm just trying to look at the settings. Oh, wait a minute. so but on this, where are we? This is frustrating. I can hear you for YouTube, but that's a delayed. Again, let me try this. This might not work, but I'm going to try it.
Oh.
Can you hear me now? Well, you can hear me now.
Hello. Yes.
Right. Okay, that's weird. But at least we fixed that.
What did you do? What have you broken?
Which is a start, right? I now need to work out my sound bar in here. 2 seconds. So at least I've got you, or at least you can hear me now. So go on.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
While I try and fix this.
Can the stream hear me now? Hello, everybody. I'm back. Now, you didn't think this day would come, did you? Yes! Yo, it's the Hyperman set, AJ Tracy live and direct. Not quite. You could always hear me. Good. Now you just can't hear Phil, which is probably a bonus. Let's not tell him. Don't fix it.
Did I turn the volume off here?
I feel like we need to cover up. No. Just sneak in under the radar.
So.
Oh no. It's almost like I planned it that way and deliberately didn't come on for the first 2 games. Who would have thought? Switchfield doing a job on stage? How is everyone? I know, Mark, and he's the brains of the operation, apparently.
Just trying different things here.
Hello, Kev. Hello, salesman.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I might have fixed it.
Might have. For now.
That's still really low for some reason. 2 seconds. Not
that. Thoughts on it. What a load of crap. They'll sell their soul for 20 quid, wouldn't they?
Yeah, we're just about there temporarily, I think. Maybe. It's that. I need to find the right wire, I think. I don't think my sandbar's wired in 100% correct.
My one and only Rob. Done a great job as well. Much needed.
No, that's it. So, that's not making a difference. Spare wire, where are we?
Who's up next? Good question. Who is up next? Van Veen and Engstrom. Not bad.
To be fair, I think we can get through like this. It's just not ideal.
You just need to talk louder, that's all. You might need to turn it up now.
Stop. No, for some reason my speakers, I can't find a USB to USB to plug it in properly, so I can just about hear you, so it's fine.
That's all right.
So yeah, you all good?
Very well, mate. We're plodding along.
Good stuff. We got there in the end.
You know me. Yeah.
I suppose I better change the game now as well, which could help.
Johan Engstrom up next. The Sweet Ferret, I believe.
You'd expect Van Veen to have too much in this one, wouldn't you?
Scoring-wise, yeah. Finishing-wise, I really rate Engstrom. I think his tops hitting is superb. And his misses, because of the way his darts lie, based off the couple of times that I have refed for him, is so consistently good. Like, it's the professional missing, if you like. He never misses on the wrong side.
Yeah.
He's going to do it all day now, watch.
At times, I just question it, though, at times, you know what I mean? Where he just doesn't seem to do enough. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Right. What are we saying then, chat? Who wins this one?
Yeah, to be fair, Van Veen looks so composed at the moment as well. Just within himself, looks like he's in such a good place. Stephen says, Gob, your thoughts on the match play draw?
I didn't mind it, to be fair. I tweeted something similar. We got a couple of testosterone derbies, a couple of ones where both players could really do with a win. And actually, I thought all of the top boys got ties where, look, they're all still favourites, obviously. But there is still that chance where you look and go, actually, there is a chance that Littler doesn't make round two, and Humphries doesn't make round two, and Gezi doesn't make round two. I thought it threw up some really good battles, actually. It's one of the better draws of the last few years.
Yeah, no, agreed.
I think when you look at previous match play draws, you go, oh yeah, this. You never really get the feeling that some of the seeds were in trouble. Can we see any upsets? Yeah, I think so. Let me get the draw up completely. Jian's playing lovely. If he catches Humphries cold early, look, it's unlikely, but yeah, definitely a chance. Menzies and Noppert, maybe not. Wessel, look, we know what his A-game's like. Nathan probably has a little bit too much for him, but not in that regard. Ryan Joyce, I think, would be an upsetting Bunting. It is possible. Schindler beating Clayton, that's pretty level at the minute on current form. Gary Anderson, Luke Woodhouse is one to look out for me. Woodhouse is playing some steady darts right now. Gurney Gezi. Gurney was fantastic in that World Cup, wasn't he? Petretsko Dobie, that's probably one that Dobie wasn't particularly keen on. Josh Rock, Ross Smith for the second time in 2 years.
Yeah.
I don't think Rob Cross will be too pleased about seeing Dirk's name. And then Jermaine Wattimena, I think, as well.
Wattimena can be a huge danger, I think.
He's just got that little bit more composure than he had before.
100%. 100%. That looks so much more in himself. But look, it's going to be interesting, the whole tournament, because get through round one, then you become a danger.
Indeed. And look, you still expect Luke Littler to do something special and something to get over the line and something that just sparks it or does that something that little bit different. But actually, Ryan Searle can go up there and throw a consistent enough game that can really chuck some pressure on the Nuke.
Yeah, I agree.
I am a Liverpool fan, yes. How did I get into reffing? So I started doing a bit of uni. I've always been able to count. When I first started playing darts, it was with an ex-partner. Her mum and all her aunts used to play in the leagues. Used to go along. I was good at counting, so I used to do the odd bit of marking for them. Then at uni games, if I'd get knocked out before quarterfinals and stuff, I'd volunteer to referee semis and finals. A friend of mine took over social media for Derbyshire and said they were looking for an MC, so I got involved that way. And then Super Series was short for a day, so Phil was working with them at that point, got me down there. A couple of years later, enough more games than anyone else then, 9 darters to my name. TV game at the World Seniors World Championship as well. Yeah, good run.
Sounds fun.
Finished that by Van Veen as well. 2-0 to the good. Finishes of 81 and 90. And that's got to be a concern for Engstrom because his scoring won't match Xian's. And if Xian's taking out finishes like that, the little pop finishes, he's going to be in trouble.
That's the difference, isn't it? It's those little combinations here and there, the little 96s and below. To be fair, if Xian can continue this scoring power, Humphreys is going to have something to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
What, is Gibbs White done or is it broken down? What have I missed?
Forrest are now claiming you made an illegal approach, so consider all communications ended and are going to report you. It's still going to go through. It's going to cost you an extra 5 million, and they're basically stalling and playing a stupid game.
The problem is if a player's got a release clause in his contract, there's nothing they can do.
Correct.
Is the thing.
Yeah, I'm hotting up here, by the way. Legs of 11, 15 and 11. He's averaging 120 right now.
It's ridiculous.
First 9 of 126. What a stupid game. I still think it will go through Matador.
The thing is, they've got the ump because we've just gone, we don't care what you think, we're triggering the release clause. That's what it is. They've just got the ump.
More importantly, though, you've got to feel a bit for Angier, who wasn't given reinforcements in January last year with the most injury-depleted squad perhaps we've seen in the Premier League era, maybe aside from Liverpool's centre-back woes of a few years ago when we had 20 different centre-back pairings, including Fabinho playing centre-back at one point, and I think Henderson played a couple of games there, etc. Like, you were pretty depleted. You still won a trophy. All right, your league form was atrocious. But there weren't any reinforcements in January. And then you've gone, do you know what? You're not getting this war chest we've got to rebuild the squad with and correct where those issues may have stemmed from last year. Yeah, Henderson to Brentford. He'll do a job for them as well. Lost some senior players in that dressing room the last couple of years, haven't they? So,
yeah, Jordan Henderson to Brentford's a strange one. I didn't see that coming.
Gave up his contract in Ajax, didn't he? He wanted to be back in England, wanted to be back in the Premier League. I still think he'll do a job for him, like I said. Whether he'll play every minute of every game, I don't think so. But like they've lost Mbuemo, or going to lose Mbuemo. They lost Tony the other year. Obviously, they've lost the Gaffer as well. Norgard as well. So they've lost some pretty senior players from that squad. And he'll go in, he'll do a decent job of marshalling that midfield as well. I still rate him. I know a lot of people don't, and what's he doing here in England squad. But actually, like, the temperament that Henderson brings to a game of football is still really, really good.
Oh yeah, I could always see him coming back to the Premier League. I just didn't see Brentford the destination.
Well, just Sunderland would have been a shout. Obviously, they've just signed quite a few African players that they might be without in January as well, which seems a weird way to have gone about it. But yeah, I think Brentford's a good fit for him. And when Sunderland go down, he can jump ship and spend a year in the Championship with them as well.
Van Veen's missed. He's human. The average plummets to 103. He's having a mare.
Not good enough. Sunderland are winning AFCON.
Unfortunately, I just think the gap between the two divisions is just too big to bridge at the moment.
Yeah.
Is anyone else not hearing me properly?
Just bring your mic closer a bit. What mic are you using?
The problem is I can't work out. I'm hearing you through something, but I don't know what I'm hearing you through. Gob is loud, but I can still hear you. Okay, let me... So my volume hasn't changed, so let me just...
You're going to turn me down and tell everyone else to turn up.
I've just toggled Gob down a little bit, not too much, but I've just brought Gob's down a bit so it's nearer mine.
Yeah, of the three sides coming back, I'm not sure Leeds have got enough at all, you know. Back to the darts. Van Veen 5-0 up.
To be fair, this result gets us back on track in terms of the session because it is just rapid.
Yeah. And he's down to 93 for the match. They're good, this. A couple of rogue legs. 11, 15, 11, 17 and 21. So That's where the drop-off in averages come from, but for Van Veen, tops for the match. He has been far, far too good for Johan Engstrom this afternoon.
That's an incredible performance from Jan van Veen, the young Dutch pretender, doing the business.
Yeah, looked really good there, didn't he? When is the online football channel launching for this? There's too many in the football space, isn't there? I'd love to do like an obscure sports channel. Jar would be up for it as well, or just non-football. So one week we're chatting about F1 maybe, the next week we're chatting about the cricket, then we can chat about the Lions or whatever, the NFL, the NBA, follow the MLB a little, the ice hockey.
To be fair, Matt, I know what Gob's just said there, the online darts football channel, if it wasn't already such a saturated market, it'd be okay. But football's just so saturated, you've not got a hope in hell of penetrating it. Gob, did you like that message?
I did.
So part of the message that I've just sent Gob, I can't broadcast. However, I've just messaged someone that is in the know on kind of things, and the word is the deal is definitely not off, and Forest are just being dicks. It's quite handy having some good contacts in my phone. Yeah, Mad, 100%. The football landscape is just so saturated, and look, you've got to applaud what Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV has done with his channels and so on. Phil Romano. No, I've got a couple of good contacts in my phone that are quite well connected with bits and bobs.
We'll be all right between us. Oh, the next one won't be slow.
Are Forest actually back from pre-season training? Because I know not everyone's back, and I looked at, because Alanga flew in from Portugal, didn't he, to go to Newcastle, that he wasn't actually in the UK.
No idea. I think we've got pre-season against Preston next week.
Yeah, pre-season, at some point, you always play Preston and Tranmere and that, don't you?
Yeah. I think we're weird for us this year, isn't it? Very weird.
I swear clubs are starting pre-season games earlier and earlier. Yeah, 100%. Well, you see, Chelsea have asked for their first game to be pushed back, haven't they? And everyone's gone, nah, get on with it.
Yeah. World Cup. Well, it's like Musiala, isn't it?
Yeah. Madrid want to push theirs back as well till October. To be fair, Madrid will probably be granted it because they just do what they want.
Correct. Why Liverpool playing Athletic Bilbao twice? Are we? It might just be because we both got decent enough sized squads, so
Yeah, you did that
111
last
will
year with
play
something. You had 2
190 in the
games
other
on one day, didn't you?
Yeah.
Jermaine Wattimena against Callum Rydz coming next. Wattimena has won the ball. Again, Wattimena, when he's good, he is still very good, but just not quite as consistent as what he was for a period last year where he was unplayable.
Yeah, because I was at one of those games. One of them was with tickets. One of them was behind closed doors. It was Sevilla last year. And I had another game literally that evening as well. So it'll be similar. It'll be 2 different 11s and whatever else. They don't seem to mess around as much on the Euro Tour anymore because they do the breaks because they do the interviews in the breaks. It has sped up the process a lot.
It flows so much better now, I think. Here comes the riot, coming on to a bit of Sam Fender. Bit of hypersonic missile. To be fair, I like Callum's walk on. I think it's decent.
Mm-hmm.
Callum Rydz. Callum Rydz. He's got shit hair, but we don't care. Callum Rydz. That's still one of my favourite songs from the World Championships. So, Wattimena signing a few bits. One of Gob's loves when they start signing stuff on the walk-on.
Yeah, I love it. So glad to be back.
What did you... Because we haven't had really chance to speak about it. What did you make of the Luke Humphreys incident in New York?
There was a Humphreys incident. This is how much I've been at. When you work where I did for as long as I did, there was just no chance to watch or see anything.
Yeah. Do you think that there's a case that they will widen the walk-on area to give players a little bit more room?
In New York specifically, or in general here?
Just in general.
I don't think so.
Yeah, the guy that crashed his thumb back.
I think what you'll see is Luke will just be reluctant to put his hand out now. The walk-on is wide enough that players can't reach both sides with their arms fully stretched. They have to go from one side to the other. So there's enough room to walk straight down the middle. It's just if they want to put their arms out and say hello and whatever. You want to give stuff back to the fans and let them enjoy their experience. But also, if it's going to be to your own detriment, then don't do it.
Yeah,
We did a uni game at Loughborough one time, and they were pouring pints over our head as we walked down the walk on. That's where you need someone stepping in.
Yeah, no, James. There's still room the other side. There's decent space. They could go 5 yards each side and make it wider, and it wouldn't affect the seating where it is. There's loads of room. Good first leg from the pair. Jermaine Wattimena holds though. So Chris, basically, he tried to grab him to stop him for a photo, but ended up wrenching his thumb back. And with Luke Cumber, we saw him backstage. His thumb was it was like that area around there was huge. I've never understood how they decide that players should walk up and walk there and then back.
Yeah, it is strange because if you've never seen it happen in person, then what happens is the minute that a player gets to the stairs from the first walk on, the second one then has to run up the walk on to get back down again.
Yeah. Yeah, especially at the venues that are in use at the moment, where the players' room and the stairs are. There's no way to bring them out at the back, like the back of the walk on, and just come through like they do in in boxing.
Euro Tour was it that used to walk down the stairs on the far side? Was that Riga?
Oh, I can't remember, but that walk on was incredible. When they used to walk
down
the stairs.
That. Down the stairs, giving it a big wave. No danger of fans getting involved, getting in the way, but actually they still had an interaction and whatever. I really like that. That was a cool one.
Yeah, that was superb. I'm just trying to think of the current venues. They could read. Well, no, actually, you couldn't because of where the players practice in Blackpool. Can't at the Grand Slam. Definitely. Potentially, you could in Leicester have the players come out the back and go straight to the top of the walk-on. Leicester, it's doable. Minehead, certainly not.
Leicester, they could create a slide from the VIP seat area.
Wattimena are averaging 108, Callan 104. This is good. I know I'm not meant to have favourites, but go on, Jamie lad. Just beaten Tommy Morris.
Who did Morris even replace this week? He wasn't meant to be playing.
Yes, Matador. Now we're talking zip lines off the balcony in Blackpool. I am all for that.
Could parachute off the cable cars into the O2.
Or we do like
right,
Edge
I've been
in
here 10 minutes and somebody's already talking about wrestling
through the crowd for their walk on. Big moment. Jermaine Wattimena is on fire here. He is 3-1 up, averaging 110.
I saw the cable cars the other day. I was down by the XL, but they look good. I am petrified of heights though, so you'll never catch me on one.
We've obviously had the Bob Anderson horse. What do you reckon? We could have some donkeys in Blackpool for a walk-on this year?
Can you imagine if players that have animal nicknames had to walk on with said animal? So like Johnny Clayton would just have a ferret running around. Nathan Aspinall would just have a grass snake slithering up the stairs.
What's Andy Barton's walking on to as the beast?
Ted?
Look, Callan's doing very little wrong here. He's 4-1 down to a man averaging 111. Cal's averaging 102 himself. Oh.
Turned up for the good games. Paul Hogan walking with a crocodile. That's the logic we're thinking here.
All I'm saying, if we're going with this logic at thinking, I'm not sure that it gets past health and safety, but is Jermaine Wattimena walking on at the match play with a machine gun? How we doing, Malik? I hope you are good. Good to have you in, buddy.
Aaron Webster with a sniper. What was that? The Demolition Man. He's walking with a hammer, doesn't he? Andy Hammer. He used to walk on with a giant inflatable hammer, didn't he?
Yes. Used to stand at the top of the walk-on with that hammer, didn't it? And they used to put the lightning bolt into it.
The Muffin Man used to throw muffins.
Yeah, Michael Smith comes on riding a bull. This is brutal. From Jermaine
walk on with a coat. Oh, wait. In terms of darting memorabilia, if that coat could be found, could you imagine? I want it.
At the moment, this is looking like it's going to be over quite quickly.
Wesley Harm's gloves.
He was a strange character. It's ever so strange.
How did...
Wattimena, 69 to win it. I'm loving that one, Marcus. Could you imagine?
Scott Mitchell's dog. I loved Scott Mitchell's invisible dog.
I'll tell you what, Wattimena has been absolutely brutal there.
Yeah. I mean, we said Callan didn't do much wrong. He was 14% on the doubles, 1 from 7. So he has had chances. Yeah. Still averaged 102, mind. Like, we're not going to take that away from him. But if he pins 2 more of those doubles, then completely different game.
Yeah. Yeah, Tony O'Shea walking out with a silverback. This next game will be interesting. Veenstra against Ratajski. The Polish Eagle just falling short in the race for the match play. He gave it a damn good go, but just ended up a couple of games short. The picture I sent you last night, Gob, of that new rule change, what was your thought on that?
I don't get what difference it makes. I don't get why they wouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, it's a strange one.
Oh, boo.
Ugh.
Bryden Cast has tried to slog one to Cal Corner. It's gone over the fielder's head, and as it's bounced and he's like diving for it, he's then knocked it towards the boundary.
Oh, that's how good is fucking Bumrah, by the way. He had that new ball fucking singing earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ratajski against Veenstra. What are we saying, chat room? Who are you thinking in this one? The Eagle, yeah, I think Ratajski's played well recently.
$50 for Bryden Cast. And he's just swinging the bat now. He's got Bashir at the other end. He's like, yeah, it's not going to happen, is it?
Polish Eagles 6-4. 6-3, Malachi says. And a lot of Polish Eagles in there. Ratajski from the bird of prey to the off. You imagine Ratajski just stood at the top of the stage and just putting his arm out. But Eagle just comes and lands on it.
Please. This is the kind of wildness we want.
Right, what have we got? We've got about a minute and a half. PB, how far has Callan Rydz dropped in the last 6 months? Rankings-wise, what is he now? Overall ranking, he is 40th. He's actually moved up a place this weekend, even though he lost. Where is he in the race for the World Grand Prix? Yeah, he's got a bit of work to do there. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to see him on the World Grand Prix or anything like that. But look, Callan's one of those players that he has all the ability in the world, but just hasn't quite delivered yet.
I'll tell you what, Kiel looks lovely.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a bitch to get to, but yeah, it does look really. It's like literally right, proper North Germany.
Hmm. Well, these ad break stock videos look very nice.
Pictures are returning.
I'm not at Blackpool, no. Might still see me though. Isn't that right, Philip?
If you can get a flight to Hamburg, it isn't too bad. I'm guessing that's where Gary must have got a flight to then, because I thought he'd pull out of this one. Wattimena's front 9 average of 116, that's world class. Three more games to go this afternoon. Wessel Nijman coming up and finishing off the session. Ian White against the man who could start an argument in a phone box with himself, Mr. Kim Huybrechts. Oh.
S Club over steps all day.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I didn't mind a bit of steps.
S Club over steps all day.
Yeah, I think S Club, but so here we go. Walk-ons. There ain't no party like an S Club party.
Huh. S Club had their own TV show, mate. Like Steps didn't.
Big up to Richard. He's just Mr. Veenstra's just done about 40 autographs.
Well, 6, surely. Maybe because the boundary's in. And the heat does funny things to people, and that's well. Well, that's the sort of thing that should be corrected. Benedict, can they correct something like that? Yep, Benedict says...
It's weird. I think Veenstra, since he's moved over to the PDC gob, he's done okay without being spectacular. He seems to qualify for everything, but then just not take that next step.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree, Marcus. I think he should have moved earlier than what he did.
Should he have won at Lakeside? I know it's difficult to say win it overall, but
There was one year where it really
especially in his
opened up.
last couple of years.
Yeah, there was one year where he was playing well and it really opened up for him, and I think that was the year that if he looks back and goes, that I can't remember what year it was, but there was one where he was like, Veenstra's going to win this. Do you know what I mean?
Was it not him that beat Littler with a record average?
I think it might have been, yeah. But just never quite happened for Flyers.
Not as many, Marcus. Ali Pali is the firm focus of that. London's just that bit easier to get in and out of. Big place. Yeah, Gino Voss another. So he played Super Series last year. Played once, didn't play that great, and I've not seen him since.
Who's that?
Gino Voss.
Yeah. To be fair, this came up the other day. I can't remember. Someone said it in the chat room that Jeffrey Deswan's not played yet this year, which I was surprised.
Yeah, after fighting so hard to stay.
I think we'll do a lot of Germans or Dutch come over for the match play like they do the Worlds. Nowhere near in the same. There's some, but nowhere near what they do for Ali Pali, because it's just easier to get a flight into London. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 airports to get into London with, where you've only really got Manchester, Liverpool at a push up in that area. I'm not sure you can go Frankfurt to Blackpool Airport.
No. Birmingham and East Mids are a bit too far away, as I don't know. Leeds, maybe?
Yeah, again, not a huge airport though, Leeds, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few, but nowhere near as much as the Worlds.
First blood to Ratajski then. It's weird because I keep watching it on there and I'm realising actually we are ahead on the scores. So, yeah, I think been a while.
So again, just what we were talking about earlier. I know it's football, but Veen, and this is from The Athletic, and they're one of the people that I actually trust. Morgan Gibbs White to Spurs, still expected to happen. The situation could drag out a little bit longer as Forest consider legal action, but transfer very much still on and expected to go through. Like the Athletic are definitely one of the ones that I trust a lot.
Yeah. Oh, Bryden, why have we done that?
To be fair, Nathan, I think 110 million for those two in this current window is actually... I know it sounds mad. I actually think it's good business in this crazy football world.
If they're worth 110, then Diaz and Harvey Elliott are 150 minimum.
See, I think Gibbs White's better than Harvey Elliott.
But Luis Diaz is comfortably better than all three of them.
When I go to Ali Pali, I always get step notes that dresses like Freddie Mercury.
There's got to be a pun there.
Ratajski has the Veenstra darts under the cosh here. Misses a dart at double 16, but this is a big ask for Veenstra.
For now, Maliki, I'd Napoli taking him for 44 million. Oh, that's what I'd tell him for, Marcus. But if Forest want to inflate the market with 60 for Gibbs White and 55 for Elanga, then Harvey Elliott has to be worth more.
This is a very below par performance for Veenstra at the moment, only averaging 63. Not the best from Flyers so far.
Elliot to Forest makes sense, to be honest. Plus, they've got 115 million to spend. Nico Williams is there, so he knows him from Liverpool days anyway.
I don't see Harvey Elliott getting in that Newcastle midfield three.
Walks into Forest, especially without Gibbs White there.
I actually think Newcastle's midfield three is right up there with one of the best in the Premier League.
Ideally, I'd keep him. I think he's class, but just don't know where he fits in. Yeah, I agree, Marcus. We've invested too much in him to not have a buy back. Or at least first refusal on a future sale.
Ratajski comes inside on the 148. He's had a chance. Good recovery from Veenstra.
Big gap in the averages between the two.
So, it's been a decent enough session so far.
I'm alright, Chris. Windows open, fans on, nice breeze across. Just my camera, it comes across really weird. It might be an upgrade in the future.
Veenstra looking like he's going to put us to a level game here. Does he go straight for it? No, splits. And pins. What, level game all of a sudden. Would be hilarious if Ratajski wins this tournament and then still misses out on the match.
Thought he just might do it, you know.
I did as well. There was one point yesterday where it's like he played so well but just ran out of steam. The thing is, we were talking about it, that pressure, and the same for Michael Smith, knowing that you have to get at least to this point is pressure. It's not like where you go, I only need to win a game or 2 games. When you've got to win 5 or 6 games, that pressure begins to tell the closer you get.
Yeah. There is an African qualifier.
The African qualifier.
Surprised there's not more than one, if I'm being honest. That's the one area where I thought they potentially could have taken the opportunity to go, do you know what? This is a region that we can see a future in.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that's like, when we've had this conversation in the past about things like the World Series, the conversation has always been, right, well, we need to get one into Asia. Now I'm thinking maybe Africa.
Yeah, no, I agree. It would have been nice to have more than one.
Can you imagine? Egyptian qualifier Mo Salah wins it. Do you remember when Rafael van der Vaart played the Dutch Open?
Yes. Rafa van der Vaart, Rafa van der Vaart. I wouldn't say no intention, Chris. Obviously, I've been privy to a couple of bits. It's definitely been spoken about, but the issue is again, sorry to be the one that says it. It all comes down to money. Have they got the funding in place to do it, and so on? Where we know that the reason that 2 of the World Series venues for the last few years, we know the main reason that they have had them is because of money in the Netherlands and Bahrain.
Don't get me started on that first one. Oh, Denmark, sorry. Close enough, though. There's not really been any other big crossover, has there? Like, we saw the Pro-Am in Hyde Park earlier in the week. We've seen big Pro-Ams in Germany in the past. We've seen... Do you remember the Let's Do Play Darts for Comic Relief? That was pretty interesting. I liked Lee Mack and Tim Vine playing. They can all play. We haven't really seen... Oh, no, because we did the darts from home as well, actually, so...
No,
there are plenty out there that can play.
Which is why I think the Hyde Park event is a good thing for that crossover.
Yeah.
You think the ones that played in it have shared a lot on their socials, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like... Despite not being here anymore, the perfect place to do that kind of thing is the Super Series. They've already got an established history of influencer events that, with all due respect, have gone a bit stale now. It's been the same sort of people, the same sort of concept over and over again. A couple of ideas that I've suggested to them in the past was, one should be a Pro-Am. So you go after more mainstream celebrities, especially in the summer when you've got access to the likes of Pompey Football Club, etc., and try and go down that route. Then the next one should be Stars of the Future. So you can have under 16s. It's the only time that they can have people under the age of 16 playing darts, i.e. Jaden Walker. You go and get 7 more Jaden Walkers or the top 8 on the JDC's Premier League or Advanced Tour, etc., and invite them down to play with influencers and use them as the pros that week if you want, and have a bit of fun with that. And then you go back to the influencer concept as well. But
yeah, and like you say about the Pro-Am thing, where the PDC have now done it, I think that they'll keep doing it at least once a year.
yeah.
Not yet, Chris. I won't find. It'll be the match play. I'll try and find out when we're up there and I get a chance to speak to the media team and so on. But my gut, the success that it's looked like it's been, I would be surprised if they didn't do it again next year.
Afternoon, David. Good to be back.
Ratajski in complete control of this one. Probably about to go 5-2 in front.
Feels like he's changed his grip a little bit, Christoph. It's gone even more pencily, if you like. So it's in these fingers here when he pushes it through, rather than, I feel like in the past it was more pushed through with a couple more.
Yeah. To be fair, this is the best I've seen the Ratajski throw look for a long time.
It's a week-long festival, Chris, BST. Amex were picking up the bill.
Yeah, if you haven't, everyone, drop us a like and subscribe. Massively appreciate it. Well, you leaving early to drive up to Nottingham tomorrow, or a leisurely drive?
Yes. Yeah, we're going up in the morning. We've added a second one, so we've got one at 1:10 and one at 2:10.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Both the same kind of areas?
No.
Fez?
About 10-15 minutes away from each other. We're not going massively out of...
Nice.
It's areas that we know and we're comfortable with as well. One is close to my first house with my brother. The other one... near one of the venues you play darts at.
See, you've already been tapped up to play darts again?
Of course. When talent like me becomes available, mate, people move.
What's the transfer fee?
Don't know. I'll have to speak to him when he gets back off comms duty. No, we'll see. What I don't want to do is overcommit too early. There's some good chats the last few weeks, eh? Well, last week.
We'll say the big fish would have been good from Veenstra, but Ratajski,
Right.
can he win it here? The answer is no.
Ooh. Can't be given those sort of opportunities up flyers. It should be. Romeo done.
Just not played particularly well, flyers here, and punished by the Polish eagle Krzysztof Ratajski. Bit of Wessel Nijman coming next. And Nijman has won the ball.
Interesting at Lords. I can't lie, I've got the cricket on as well.
You twos know the better than me, weather down there. Yeah, look, 9 times out of 10, the weather is decent in July in London. 9 times out of 10. Which is why most of the festivals in the UK happen July and August, because that's the peak time that you're probably gonna get the weather.
Mm-hmm. Not sure. Yeah, obviously, I don't know I doubt the darts would have gone ahead if it was pissing it down. I know there was a Sabrina Carpenter concert the night before where it was absolutely lashing it down.
Yeah, that went ahead as well.
Yeah.
You look at like Glastonbury and Leeds and stuff, they still go ahead when it's pissing down.
Yeah. It's 24 degrees here. Oh. Grand Slam of Darts ticket packages on sale now.
What's that?
Just had an email from PDC Sports Breaks. Get your hands on an official ticket for your chosen date, plus an Uber voucher to make your journey to the venue smooth and stress-free.
Fairs.
Joffrey's got the new ball in hand, which is good, because Chris Wokes went for 13 on a pitch that was prepared specifically for him.
So, we think Wessel comes through this one. Gob's favourite tournament.
Stupid tournament. Got him! Joffrey's got one already.
Has he?
He's back. Third ball. Charles Vile, edge to slip. Thanks for coming, boys.
Go on, the Joff.
You beauty. What we got next then? Nijman against Kramer. Say one more after this.
Yeah, we've got Wessel
Ian White.
here, and then the last one is Huybrechts against Ian White. So 2 more games to go.
I think Ian White, Kim Huybrechts was the game the first time I ever went to the World Championships.
Really?
Andy Hamilton lost. He was on first. And I'm pretty sure I'd had, for the first time I'd ever gambled, a correct score prediction on Ian White to win 4-3 against Kim Huybrechts. Ian White went 3-0 up. So I'm there in the crowd. They're going, come on, Kim, sort your shit out. Gets it back to 3-3. And then all of a sudden I'm cheering for Ian White again. And everybody's like, what on earth are you doing? And I'm like, I've got a bet on 4-3. And it came in.
You say I went to Red Dragon. I was down at Red Dragon yesterday, Mike. I've asked the question, and they are going to look into it for me and get back to me early next week. So, I did ask the question as always for you guys. Don't know anything about him, to be fair, but I think Wessel should be too strong.
Yeah. Go away.
So what have we got? About 45 seconds till we get pictures back for game number 7 of 8 this afternoon. Were you surprised that Peter, Michael and Ryan Joyce all pulled out of this before the match play? Last chance to get some reps in the arm?
A little. Look, we know Ryan Joyce doesn't particularly enjoy travelling. He is one of those. So maybe the anxiety was a bit too much. If he feels like he can get decent enough match practice at home, then it's a bit different, isn't it? Michael, we know he's a bit indifferent at the moment towards the sport. Peter's the one I'm surprised about because his form is so poor.
Right, pictures are back, so we are ready to rock and roll. Just going to stand for a bit. It's a bit warm. But there's the stats. Ratajski front 9 average of 103.17. 6 from 16 on the outer ring. Tidy enough. Nijman coming next. I think this should be one-way traffic, Gob.
Yeah, I expect so. Then again, not many knew much about Yorick. Hofkens took Menzies to a decider, played really, really well, so maybe that was a little bit the exuberance of youth. But yeah, not expecting too much.
Just watching the Joffre ball now. Well, that is an absolute Jaffa as well.
First over back and he's bowling 93 miles per hour.
Can you imagine a fully fit Joffre and Mark Wood in the same side?
Mark Wood's never fully fit. The man's made out of papier-mâché.
We can dream though, right?
Very worried about how quickly they've taken to Chris Wokes already on a pitch pretty much prepared to favour him. It's Lords where it moves about off the slope. He's got the brand new ball in hand and he's already gone for 15 off an over and a half.
I'm not convinced about Wokes as an opening bowler. I remember when he was the fourth seamer that they used to go to get through overs.
Yeah. Oh, that's a beauty though. Right, walk-ons on. I'm going to grab some juice.
Yeah, no worries, Dan. Right, Wessel just doing his walk on. Bit of summer of 69. Go on then, chat room. Score predictions. What are you saying? Easy time for Wessel or tougher than what we think? Six 0. Six somewhere around 6-2, maybe 6-1, 6-2. But yeah, I think it will be an easy day at the office for Wessel Nijman here. Right. Let's get this show on the road. interesting.
By the way, there is no better time to have ever been a Euro Tour ref. Because you rock up, you get your travel and stuff paid for, whatever. But they're doing less work than ever because they've got Franz and Lucas.
So, there's some interesting news again. The Chris Dobie curse has struck once more. No luggage once again. Great start to the weekend. Rule number 1, never travel with Dobes.
This is where I think we need to revisit that concept of equipment travelling with PDC Europe.
Agreed. Also, though...
Although, the other thing is, Dobie is a target player who have a Swiss point option. The points can go in his hand luggage if they take the points out. So he can take the points out of the darts, he can travel with darts, and in your hand luggage you can take a pair of trousers, a pair of shoes, and a t-shirt, so you're at least set to play darts. If you have to go and buy underwear and a couple of casual t-shirts for the weekend, bit different.
You beat me to it there. I was going to say that Chris is with the one manufacturer that you can carry your darts in your hand luggage.
Yeah. I'm at the point now where I want to get some of my other darts that predate Swiss technology converted into Swiss darts.
Yeah.
Because the ability to quickly change points is it a little bit lazy? Yes, maybe. But is it guaranteed that all three of them are the same length first time and takes half the time? 100%.
Completely.
I don't actually So despite my previous ramblings about not liking long points, I've moved to something a little bit longer in my HEMA darts, and then I snapped one, throwing a wonky dart at a board, prattling around at one point. So I've had to go even longer in the points, which I don't like and don't like the balance. So I had a bit of a mare at the Hampshire Open a couple of weeks ago, decided it was time to change darts, gone back to my Adrian Lewis darts. The small points were too small. The only other ones I've got are now too long, but I'm throwing with them over the small ones. I need to find something in between, but again, just to repoint them, like.
Yeah, see, I like the Swiss points.
That's pretty long for me.
That's it.
The other thing is, I've got 9 of these barrels, and only 5 of them can currently take points because 4 of them have got something stuck in them.
Got some 41 mil points in them, but by the time they go into the barrel, there's probably about 38 mil outside the dart.
Yeah, whereas these are a bit longer than that. Yeah, that's my plan, Mad. Or even if it's just one of the sets of 80 Lewis darts, so I've got that option. I need to get the other ones drilled out. I have got some alum powder, but I never been able to get it to work.
Yeah, I'm amazed that how long have the Swiss points been out now? What, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, something like that.
I'm amazed that other manufacturers haven't duplicated that technology for their own.
Well, Caliburn tried, didn't they?
Yeah.
I think they were a branch of Mission, if I'm being honest. They got their initial prototype very wrong, recalled it or said it wasn't ready yet, and then went again. I know it's out now, but I know a player that's used it at the top level that's had issues with it.
Yeah, so they're...
He ended up gluing his points in by the end of the week. Yeah, Target will have the concept
So-
painted in, I guess, bits.
There is and there isn't. Wait, where's me? Where's my Swiss point key?
That makes sense. I struggle a bit with Q-Sol.
I can't find me.
And Cosmo. I find Cosmo's darts are really like soft metal, like they just split.
So let me. So for anyone, Malachi, that has used Swiss points, I don't know if you can see them up close enough there, but where the point screws into the barrel, there's like a little hexagon shape which fits into the Swiss point key lock to lock them. It is the locking nut bit there that's the hexagonal shape that has the pattern on it. I don't think you can pattern a screw-in point, but you can pattern how it is screwed in, is what I'm led to believe.
Yeah.
So others can do it, they just have got to work out how to do their own locking bit.
I think they all will work it out as well. Like, it's just too handy to have.
Yeah.
Thoughts on MPQ dartboards? I don't mind MPQs. I've used them, and I've got a box next to me that used to be full of MPQs. Especially when you could buy packs of 4, they were pretty good for venues where you needed good quality boards, etc. Most of the time, the imperfections are very unnoticeable. It's up to you, really. They also tend to be unbranded, which makes them just that little bit cleaner, I think.
Wessel seems to have woken up a little bit in that leg. Not his best performance, but on course.
I do need to rotate my board at some point. I've not done it since I got this one, and I've been playing a
Same,
bit more recently.
I know you haven't tried them yet, Gob, but I know you're gonna. The Fusion Arrows. We have intermediate and a medium for you.
Correct. Did that go well? Yeah, the amount of people that expect dartboards to be 100% clean and like, oh, I've thrown at this for 10 minutes, there's holes in it. What the fuck do you expect?
Yeah.
One, they heal over a longer period of time. And two, you're throwing sharp, pointy things at wood.
I haven't used one, but what's been, I don't know, chat room review, what's been the general feedback on the new Unicorn board and that black spider wire? Has it chipped as we thought it might, or has it been okay?
I've not used one, but that is my concern, is that, especially from an official's point of view, I find some of them these days are difficult enough, especially under stage lights. It's actually a lot easier for me to referee under a light ring, which doesn't sound like it should be the case, because sometimes you get that light in your eye depending on where you stood, etc. But from an official point of view, I suspect a black spider across the top of a board is going to be a nightmare, especially when it starts to chip. The other thing I've tended to struggle with in the past is when players have got so many different modifications to points these days that you can't tell where a point's been modded or where the colour might change a little bit, and then you can't tell that up against the wire.
Wessel Nijman, moment of the Magic game so far, taken out 150. That's very, very good from Wessel.
Been impressed with Kramer so far. It's not been world-shattering, but he's matched Wessel for a fair amount of the game. Review on my channel, it did ship. Can't see it from the hockey, but it's off-putting. For the sake of trying to be USP, it brings more cons and pros, yeah. I like the concept. It looked really clean out the box. Like, that's what I will say. It did look good out the box.
100%. I went to the launch, didn't I, when we first saw it, and fresh out the box, it looked lovely. But like I say, my worry was that was going to chip.
Yeah.
How we doing?
What I will say is, for the first time in a long, long time, it feels like the big three brands all have a dartboard that is as close in quality as they've ever been. In the past, there was big drop-offs between a Blade 4, shall we say, and a Target Pro Tour. Like, the difference between those was absolutely night and day. The difference between a Tour, Unicorn's new board, and a Blade 6 triple core is a little bit more subtle these days.
The only thing I would say on this, and if you're playing with these boards at home, I fully agree, because they are stored and kept at room temperature, which for me is so vital as part of the dartboard. I'd be interested to see how those other two react under TV conditions, going from where they're stored not the best, whether in the back of freezing cold trucks or whatever, and then put straight onto the stage, because that was always one of the issues with the Unicorn board, was the way they were stored, and it was going from freezing cold, even minus temperatures, straight onto the TV stages. So I'd be interested to see how those measured up, because I remember the first time we saw one of those new boards on a TV game, a Scotsman absolutely shredded it. Now, granted, I'm not going to bash the manufacturer's boards because those points are very, very aggressive, as we know. But it did get absolutely trashed the first time we saw it on TV.
Rob, don't pay for a triple core. No, I'm joking. That's a bit. Yeah. No, I honestly, Marcus, compared to what was on the market at the point, I'm not convinced the Unicorn boards were as bad as they were made out to be.
No, and that's why I said a lot of it is down to the storage of the sisal. They were genuinely
some of it was, like Phil said, down to storage. Some of it was down to some high-profile players kicking off. Now, if you look at some of the high-profile players that were kicking off, they had incredibly aggressive angles of entry into the board, i.e. Benito van der Plas, Simon Whitlock, etc. And they were doing more damage to the boards themselves, trying to find ways to correct things that they perceived they'd been wronged by. Some of the points that Simon Whitlock came up to at the very start of when he started making his own points were ridiculous. They'd have destroyed any board.
The worst ones were the wood file points that he made.
Yeah,
they could have destroyed a fully wooden door. Again, though,
the other thing to bear in mind is sometimes it's not even the way that the darts go in, and it's not the points; it's the way they're taken out. I had this conversation with James Richardson the other day, and actually, he says he's still got the same points, and I thought he'd change them a bit. But it's the way that James grabs his darts out the board. It's more of a rip. That's pulling the sisal out with it. If you grab them with your fingers rather than in the clutch of your fist, then you'll do less damage to the board.
This has been closer than what we thought so far. Yeah, don't worry, Matador. Barry hoovered them up.
Yeah. If you could put any board on the wall right now, what would it be?
Any board?
Any board.
For me, still the Blade 6 trip.
Wrong. Chat room, get involved. If you could put any board from any era up on your wall right now, what would it be? That's the right answer. That's the right answer. The Blade 4 was outstanding. To the point where the Blade 4 must be 15, 20 years old now, and you could still walk into a pub tomorrow and find one in decent nick. It is that good. The Blade 4 was superb.
Thing is, I'm not sure what else can be done with these dartboards now. Surely they must be almost at a point where they're as good as they're ever going to be.
Yeah. I love the Blade 4.
I'm going to say,
I've
one thing
got
I don't like...
I've got an original Target Pro Tour here still. It was the one we used in my very first year of varsity at university.
Wessel has missed a huge chance here for 5-2. Is his throw about to be broken? This is a massive moment. And Martin can't take it. What I was going to say as well, and look, I understand why both of these manufacturers have done it. I get it from a selling point of view. But me personally, I hate it on the Tour and the Unicorn board where it goes brand, all the way around. I get it, so you can turn it and it all looks symmetrical. I fully get it from that point of view. But personally, I don't like that.
Yeah. I don't want to be too controversial, but what I will say is these are crap. And I've got two of them. This one, though. Look at this bad boy. The Target Pro Tour. But these are always darker and softer than anything else. I hated how soft they were. Look at that. That's a proper used dartboard, that is. First year match board.
I remember, what version of the mission board was it that was like throwing at concrete? Was it that one or was it?
Yeah, these are really hard, and then I don't like the new ones either that they play county on, the Infinities with the blue on them as well. I just think they look horrific. In terms of paint jobs, Mission is the sloppiest I've ever seen.
Yeah, I can't remember what mission board it was precisely, but I remember throwing on it, and it was like, Christ, I'd never thrown on anything so hard.
Yeah. Like the mission boards, if you go and stand at an angle on a mission board, you can see where they've painted the sisal on the wires. And you'll just get random splurges of black paint halfway up a wire and then wonder why you can't see. I remember the Gladiators being really hard as well, to be fair. We had them at Summercoats for a while. Just nothing stayed in.
I remember at Lakeside, the year just gone, the mission board didn't stand up that well on TV.
To be fair to them, they have had less time developing a board than the big three, shall we say, than Winmore, Target, and Unicorn, but they are still behind in that category. And the fact they've got the county in the Super League setup helps them because they get that into homes and whatever, but I don't think they have a premium board that can match up with the others right now.
No, agreed. This game's certainly closer than what we thought it was going to be.
Just been steady, Kramer. He's not really done anything spectacular.
Yeah, agreed.
He's had chances though. 3 from 12 on the outer ring.
Yeah, it's not been a shiny performance from Wessel. You take that 150 finish out of the equation. It's average from him. Normally we'd have more than 180 at this point.
Is this a case of, with all due respect, knowing it's a result that he should and will probably get?
Possibly, yeah. Leaves 86. Will get a match-winning opportunity here. Treble 18, double 16 is the MO. And Wessel is over the line. It wasn't faultless by any stretch of the imagination, but the young Dutchman has got the job done.
More to come this afternoon in Huybrechts versus EMY. I'm going to throw 6 darts.
As per normal in any Kim Huybrechts game, what's the match line on arguments on stage? Over 1.5 or under?
Over. Do arguments with himself count?
Yeah, he can argue with anyone or any. He can argue with the water jug.
Oh my god. Terrible.
So, one game to go. Chat room, get involved. What are you saying? Who are you fancying for the last one?
Me, because I'm playing amazing. Not. I actually don't think I've ever played this match, you know.
Nice. To be fair, Marcus, I agree. Like, Prime Kim was decent.
Chris, the reason I ref is because I'm a failed player, mate. Isn't everybody?
You throw there, I'll throw from my seat.
I was on the dev tour, which is not very good. National champions at uni, league champions multiple times. We do what we can. Throw it. Get rid of that one. I love these darts to look at, and I'm very grateful that you gave them to me, but I'm nowhere near able to throw them. What should we go with? Gary. Let's try some Garys.
You know, Rob, you know.
I'm bigger than Pie Face. Oh dear. He is probably better than me. Speaking of though, myself and Phil did record some challenges a couple of weeks ago.
We did. They will be edited at Blackpool, so they will be out soon.
Start of a new series.
We did film some content. To be fair, I actually haven't opened one of these fusion arrows yet. Let's have a... They are a very unique shape, aren't they?
Yes.
That's...
I have got the 3-wing ones here somewhere, but I just can't get on with them. I thought I'd love them, but...
We've got about a minute 45 seconds to go. Let's...
These are one of the best looking darts I've ever seen, in my opinion.
Which one's that?
Jim McEwen's.
The blue and gold does ping off each other really, really nice.
It's beautiful. These are actually the ones he won the series with at the Super Series.
Nice. So, my first reaction of putting fusion arrows on a dart is... I'm not sure if I like the shape or not. Let's have a... Oh, Christ.
Rubbish.
They zip through the air, Gob.
See, I'm not sure if that's a good thing for me anymore. I used to be very against big wing, very against anything that slows the dart down, but actually, it might just be creeping back into my game a bit. I feel like there's more margin for error with a bigger fly. And that's what I'm looking for. Because I've got such a stupid, complex fucking release now.
So, Rob, I've actually hit those 3 darts. Not one of them went in the 1. One of them's gone in the little 5, one of them's gone in the big 20, and the other one's gone in the little 18. So I sprayed them around well.
Can't stop drifting left. It's like a Wayne Mardell exhibition.
Yeah. Oh, I can drift into any segment on the board. Don't worry about that. How did I get into darts? I played I remember picking darts up, picking a setup as a real young kid. To be fair, I had a good chat with Raymond Smith yesterday. He's definitely going to come up to the studio and film some stuff. next year at Torremolinos.
No, Benidorm, not Torremolinos. Me and my friends have been on about going to the Benidorm Open since about 2015, and we've never ever committed to it. And when I finally popped the question, the Benidorm Open will be my stag do.
Fairs.
Get out the fives!
Right, here we go. Ian White is walking on.
Right, last three.
Oh. I might have missed this, but Ian White's got a new shirt, Gob.
How's it?
Well, I've not seen this one before. I might have missed it. But it looks like Ian White's got a new shirt.
Oh, there's another one. I wonder if they're on the same flight. Ross Smith, 24 minutes ago. No luggage, no representative at British Airways at Hamburg Airport. No equipment or darts. Great start to the European Tour this weekend. Hopefully British Airways can send my bag to the hotel ASAP.
Oh, so we've got...
Two!
That would suggest to me that Dobie and Ross Smith were on the same flight.
Yep. I don't hate the Ian White shirt.
No,
what I will say is it looks...
I quite like it.
It's not too overpowering. I like it's got the subtle diamonds on it. The font does look a bit Mission to me.
Well, speaking of which, I don't like that Kim Huybrechts shirt.
I really don't hate that shirt though. I like it. But like I said, the font looks a bit Mission Onyx darts maybe. That's what I'm thinking. Is it the Onyx?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Kim's shirt. But yeah, I like the new Ian White shirt.
Yeah. Wow. In the tennis, Alcaraz is 1-1 with Fritz. Although my mate just sent me a stat. Carlos Alcaraz has more titles on grass than he's had losses in his pro career.
That's a great
on
stat.
that surface. So he's won 4 professional titles on grass and he's only ever lost 3 times on grass.
That's ridiculous. If so, why don't the top 16 have a set of their darts in a box they can take? We've said this for ages, Rob.
I don't hate the Huybrechts shirt. It is a little bit golf shirt to me, with the repeat of the pattern over and over. Oh, there's 3, Chris. Haller, Queens. Can play Eastbourne now as well. And Wimbledon.
I see Unicorn have gone for the target approach with their logo on the new shirts, Gob.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Connor, we've had discussions. Look, will we see God back on the live lounge? Yes, at some point. However, he's got some bits he needs to do and whatever. But at some point, we'll see him back.
You won't see me back as long as I'm living in Portsmouth, which is a couple of months yet. We'll have house reunions in Nottingham tomorrow.
That's why I said you've got some bits to sort out, where you're going to live and so on.
A couple of things sorted, and stay away from a position where I have to give too many opinions for now, I think is is the safest play. Just in case the wrong people end up in the crosshairs.
Who's Kim's manufacturer?
Yeah.
Is he Balls?
Yeah. Which makes me think these are Condor.
Yeah, so they're definitely not K-Flex.
Are they new darts 3 and white as well?
No,
with the diamond logo at the back, or are they?
Before.
Am I giving up reffing? No, I'm not, Connor. I'm just currently not employed to referee.
Ian White does lead 1-0, but it's on throw.
Is there a bit of a struggle to get rid of that dart for one of the two players? Or am I looking too much into it?
What, for Kim?
Yeah. Back of the second feather, right before he lets it go, look.
Oh, yeah, I don't like that. The pause at the back of that second feather is a little bit long for my liking.
It's getting stuck in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not too sure on that.
I left the live like one just to get some time back. I was doing an awful lot of things all at once, and I'd started playing football on a Wednesday to try and lose some weight, so signed up for a darts team and that sort of thing, so I wasn't really getting much time with my partner. 2 opportunities were going well for me. Reffed at the Circus Tavern, I'd been on commentary a bit, etc., and I felt that was a good time to take some time away from an environment where perhaps my opinions don't go down so well outside of the OD circle. and just nothing against any of the chat room or Phil or Dan or anyone, but just take myself out of that environment for a little bit.
Like I said, you will see him back sooner rather than later, in my opinion. But just when he's ready. Ian White missed a golden chance there for 2-0. Kim Huybrechts holds on.
Are we going to float the idea past everyone that we were discussing yesterday?
We can do. I'll let you do it.
So, chat room. Philip has decided that the watch-along he did as part of the World Series went very well the other week. You all engaged, worth the time, etc. So we're looking at doing similar for the match play. 8 days straight, lots of darts on, similar setup. However, Phil will be in Blackpool, as will Dan. Now, I can't do the first day, but I am available to stream as a watch-along every other session of the World Match Play. What do you think?
Ian White massively controlling this leg. Upped his average to over a ton now. Hasn't taken it out, but will be back.
Wayne seems to like that idea.
2-1, the diamond leads.
That's all right then. We'll work out the logistics of it. And we'll give it a whirl.
So this is a very good version of Ian White. We haven't seen for a while, Gob. It's looking good.
Yeah, no. Look, still 2 from 8 on the doubles. There's always things to improve on, but it looks very composed.
Yeah.
Darts are going in very straight. The action looks really good, actually. Yeah, it will be a couple of nights, but it's not as if I've got anything else to do in my life at the minute, is it, Marcus? So it'll be fun. And what we'll probably do is if we're streaming all day, every day, or for every session, we won't specifically run a Fallout bar. What we will do is we might just stay on 5-10 minutes at the end to recap what we've seen in that session. Phil will have time to chuck us clips of the post-match interviews as well, so we can get them in as soon as we can, sort of thing. But
136 for the diamond. It's on. Not now, so Huybrechts will get a look at the 90. Just hanging in there, Kim, isn't he? Look, he's being outplayed for large parts, but when it matters, he's just doing what he has to.
when you're not playing well, you can't ask for more, can you?
Yeah.
Again, that's where that 2 from 8 might just come back to haunt Ian White a little bit.
When Kim looks back at his career when he finishes playing, how much regret do you think will be there?
Not sure regret. I'm not sure any player will regret being at the top level for as long as Kim has been. I think there might be some form of Terry Jenkins-esque wondering why he didn't perhaps go and win something. Don't get me wrong, he's played in an era where the sport's been ridiculously strong. He's pushed Phil Taylor in parts. He's pushed Van Gogh in at times. And when you look at who else has been around, Anderson, Wright, etc., I think the World Cup will be one that haunts him a little bit. Having been so strong, he played with Ronnie. Him and Dimmy in the early days had a really, really good relationship. Emphasis on the early days. And the other one, I think, might be that Grand Slam where he did an absolute number on Van Gerwen in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
I think when you look at the level and calibre of players that are winning titles in this era, right now. If Kim looks back on his career, with all due respect, he'll think he's a better player than Andrew Gilding, who won a UK Open. He'll think he's a better player than Rich Woodhouse, who won a European Championship. Like, he'll go through all of those. Pete Kim Huybrechts is arguably on the similar sort of level as what we see Ross Smith right now.
Yeah.
Would you agree? Apart from the fact Ross hasn't played Premier League yet, Kim has. He rocked up, he averaged 98 for the tournament and didn't win a game. It was one of the most brutal campaigns you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's it was interesting because, like you say, that he's had so many high moments, and will he go down at the moment as one of the best players never to win a PDC major?
I think so. When you look at how long he's played and where we know his A game can be. Obviously, your likes of Terry Jenkins and that are going to stick out in that regard, and
Yeah.
Chisnell not winning a major, but well, Chisnell's had success to a far greater level on Euro Tour and Pro Tours.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Not tonight, Chris. I'm packing. Has he ever reached the PDC Major Finals? Semi, I think, is his best, isn't it?
Let me just double check. His finishing has been
Semi-final
very
the
good,
Slam,
yeah.
semi-final the Euro. Oh, runner-up at the Players' Championship Finals in 2012.
Yeah.
Other than that, quarter-final at the Masters, quarter-final at the World Series Finals, Premier League 10th twice, European Champ semi, Grand Slam semi, UK Open quarter, World Grand Prix quarter, World Match Play. Only ever made the last 16. He had a terrible record there, didn't he?
Yeah.
Absolutely dreadful. And his best World Championship, 2012 again, quarter-final. Yeah, 2012. Runner-up in the Players' Championships, semi-final of the European Championships, quarter-final of the World Championships. Didn't make the Premier League for another 3 years.
My friend, this is over to you.
What?
This is your moment.
What? Is he on one? See, mine's still lagging behind. So I've reffed enough of these.
But this is what we said. Kim Huybrechts, for 6 legs, was hanging on to Ian White. But now, all of a sudden, he's found a patch on the Ian White throw. And he leads Gob.
Really good leg. 11 darter. Ian White up against it now. Straight back in as well, look.
Kim Huybrechts has turned it on when it matters. The Hurricane. Is rocking. You up to anything with Katie this evening, or just a quiet one?
Just packing, I think, mate. Obviously, we're driving up in the morning, so...
Fairs?
A few bits around the house sorted.
Love that, Chris. Love that. That's how Fury posted a video this morning. He looks in great shape.
Oh, is he back again, is he?
Well, no, he's not said he's back yet, but he just looks in great shape.
Yeah. Seeing John Jones just unretired from the UFC after 1 month. Gave up his belt, retired, 1 month out, yeah, suddenly he's back in.
Huey John Tonwich. What career would you rather have? Chisnall, where you never win anything but earn decent money, or someone like De Souza, where you have had a great 3 years and win stuff but leave the sport shortly after? Oh. I would rather win something.
Yeah, I'm De Souza. Get in, make money, and fuck off again. It's better for your liver.
I would rather have that. I won a PDC major next to my name. Personally.
Is it 1 or 2 that he won?
One, Grand Slam.
Met the Premier League final.
Yeah, he got to the Premier League final and won the Grand Slam.
Yeah. Semi-final of the Masters.
Rob's gone fishing.
Rob the silly bugger.
It's been a good game, this. I've enjoyed this one.
Kim is back. Still only averaging 85. It feels like a lot better than that. He had that 11 dart leg. He's been pretty solid on the doubles, 5 from 11. Yeah, in between that.
It feels like it's been a better game than that, I agree.
Bag of nails. Tees up tops, though. And this could be the end, not just of the game, but of the session.
From 3-2 down, Kim Huybrechts has put on a clinic, Gob.
Yeah, really, really good performance from Kim in the end. That looks average only finishes around 90, but glimpses of brilliance. Put his foot down when it mattered, and Kim's into the next round.
Yeah, he's been superb in that respect. And that concludes today's, or the afternoon session. Remember, we will be back this evening at 6 o'clock for the evening session. So make sure you can join us, whatever you are up to. It has been an absolute pleasure keeping you entertained this afternoon. Before you go, make sure you drop us a like and subscribe. At 6 o'clock is the destination. Make sure you join us. I've been Phil Bars. Pleasure to be joined by Gob as always. And we'll see you all very, very soon.
Goodbye.